This is some drone footage of Niagara Falls on the U.S.-Canadian border. Millions of tourists come every year to see the Niagara River dump about 700,000 gallons of water per second over the three waterfalls that comprise Niagara Falls. Some people call Burgess Falls the Niagara Falls of Tennessee. Our curious viewers asked, is Burgess Falls really the Niagara Falls of Tennessee? Burgess Falls gets its name from Tom Burgess, a Revolutionary War veteran who settled along the Falling Water River in the early 1800s. The Burgess family used the river's rapids to power a grist mill and eventually a sawmill, which supplied early settlers with cornmeal and lumber. Just like Niagara Falls separates the U.S. and Canada, and both countries claim the falls, Burgess Falls separates White County and Putnam County, and both counties claim the falls. We're at Burgess Falls State Park. It says that the falls is 3/4 of a mile. Proper footwear is advised. It says it is a strenuous hike. There is an upper trail that is a less strenuous hike, but this is the trail with all the scenic vistas.
Burgess Falls State Park, located on the Falling Water River, is noted for its natural beauty and 4 waterfalls that cascade down from over 250 feet in elevation. The last of these falls is the most spectacular, plunging more than 130 feet into the gorge.
As we started our walk down the path towards the falls, the sound of water is constant. Awesome power and beauty of nature surrounds you. I cherish the moments I spend with my family, surrounded by the majesty of nature. It has a way of making you feel very small and humble in some ways, but it also makes you feel like you're a part of something eternal and boundless. It is pointless to try comparing Burgess Falls to Niagara Falls. Both are magnificent marvels of creation and destruction. Burgess Falls can't compare to the sheer volume and power of Niagara Falls or the number of annual visitors, but Burgess Falls has some important things going for it. I doubt there is much of an opportunity at Niagara Falls to feel or be alone with nature, but I have rarely had to suffer crowds at Burgess Falls. Waiting in line or having to pay to get the best views or pictures is not something you will encounter at Burgess Falls. There are spectacular vistas everywhere, and rarely will you have to wait your turn to see them. The suspension bridge you see over the first falls carried the flume across the Falling Water River. From there, the flume grows through a man-made tunnel about 100 yards and recrossed the river on a similar bridge upstream of the big falls. The flume carried water from the dam at the upper parking lot to a powerhouse below the big falls. Pretty good sized tree is falling down here. You can hear the water trickling down up there, coming down, and it makes its way down into the river. The upper trail, it's not too far from here. It doesn't have quite the severe up and downs that this trail has. And it doesn't have the obstacles. It's a gravel pathway, wide enough for a vehicle to go down, but they only allow parked vehicles to go down it. whereas the lower pass follows the river for the most part. From the dam to the bottom of the falls is almost 300 feet elevation drop. It's right around there. Catherine's gone on ahead. Hopefully she'll stop and let me catch up. She gets excited to see the falls. There are trash cans posted periodically along the trail, so if you bring bottled water, you do have a place you can discard your trash. Another spot where we have water coming from above and making its way down to the river. I'm not looking forward to the stairs I have to climb in a few moments. It's my least favorite part of the walk. Here's the middle falls. You get a better view of them later on down the trail, looking back towards them. And if you come on a day like today where it's wet, the ground is slick, so be careful. Another draw where the water is coming down and cutting away at the rock. Slow trickle making its way down to the river. And these are the stairs. Got a little bit of a view of the middle falls through the trees here. Not much. A better view coming up. After the long winding stairs. That'll get your heart pumping. They have a few benches here, another trash can, and here is that view I promised you. Catherine waiting for me. Continuing on from the overlook, we're going to head down some more stairs. Catherine's young and in shape and has boundless energy most of the time, unless she doesn't want to.
Tell them about how I walked down to the falls, walked back up, walked down, and walked back up, and you still weren't there, so I had to walk back down the trail. Ever.
The river's off through the woods, way down.
Wait, I got signal here. Wait, I text people.
This generation and their cell phones.
No, this generation is my best friend. Not sending. I asked Otto if he was dead and he said yes.
Because of all the humidity in the air today, the heat is just something else. It's what I imagine the jungles would feel like. here at the overlook, so I'm gonna cut the video off here. We're going to go up to the Ridgetop Trail and take the gravel path back to the parking lot. The trail back to the parking lot that we're taking is gravel trail. On the trail walking back, the GoPro died. This fence, I don't know whether the state is putting it up for the park or whether it was part of the deal made with the private group that bought the land next to the park. They are building a RV campground on the other side of that fence. We're almost back to the parking lot now. Since the last time I was here, they've added an overlook to the upper trail. It has the same information about the suspension bridge and the powerhouse and the flume that we had at the other overlook. Just from a higher vantage point. The trail's down there. Is Burgess Falls the Niagara Falls of Tennessee? You should come and decide for yourself. And if you see an overweight, displaced in time peacenik flower child taking pictures or shooting video with his beautiful teenage daughter, his handsome soon-to-be driving son, or maybe his toddler grandson, say hi and introduce yourself. I promise I'm not as bad as I look. Burgess Falls is one of my favorite places to visit, relax, and take photos. You'll never hear me say that about Niagara Falls.